For centuries, people have whispered about something moving just beyond the tree line. Something tall, something intelligent. From the earliest Native American legends to settlers describing a man-like beast stalking forests, to a single strip of film that changed cryptozoology forever. Is Bigfoot a relic of human evolution? A flesh and blood creature hiding in plain sight? Or something far stranger? Something that doesn't fully belong to our world? Tonight, we follow the footprints, examine the evidence, and venture into America's darkest woods with the Veritas Project. Hey everybody, welcome to the podcast, the Project Investigation Collaboration brought to you by the Veritas Project. And as always, we are here with our gracious host and founder of the Veritas Project, Robert Wiki Bob Curtis.
Hello.
And I'm lead investigator Todd Boyer. Welcome to the podcast, everybody.
Yeah, welcome in.
Oh, so what's going on in local news, Bob? Anything good?
It was really, really cold for a long time.
Yes.
And now it's starting to warm up a little bit.
So. And for us, for the TikTok people, it is Monday. And
Monday.
Normally we have the podcast out now. But with Bob's new job, he stays at the farmhouse, which is closer to the new job.
Yeah.
When he's on call, which is like, obviously we don't have the studio set up over there. So we delayed the podcast a couple days. So
yeah. It'll be all right.
It'll be all right. We'll be okay. So don't forget about our Dubby partnership. We usually almost forget about that at the end. So I'll put that up at the beginning. Don't forget, use, if you like Dubby, if you like energy drinks, it's good stuff. It's a cleaner energy drink.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't have a lot of the bogus stuff in it. There's no artificial fillers. There's no artificial color.
Yep. And use the word whole truth at checkout to save 10%.
Yeah. How about that?
So I got my website up and I got merch on it for my
book reading.
My book reading stuff, for my audiobook stuff. So that's all done. Got that taken care of. How's the house coming?
Good. I got a lot done.
Good.
I took the fireplace apart, cleaned it, put it back together. Now it works fabulous.
Nice.
So there's a nice gas,
fireplace,
like potbelly stove type scenario over there. It works amazing.
As long as the wall is good, because that wall had some termite damage.
The wall is ate up. I actually put a cover on the hole in the wall. I bought on Temu, they sell these little Velcro covers for like windows and doors in your house. If you have like a bad drafty door, I actually stapled one of those over the hole in the wall.
Just for now,
for
just
the
until you get it
insulation.
fixed.
Right.
That's fantastic. That's funny.
Because if you stand in the middle of that family room, you could feel the wind blow through that wall.
Oh my gosh.
That's how bad that hole is.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Termites, man.
So this week, we are going to talk about something that Bob and I had discussed doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
We have done cryptids before, but we have decided to take a deep dive into individual cryptids.
Yeah.
And the most popular cryptid in the United States is obviously Bigfoot.
Big feats.
So, Bigfoot has been around for a long time. I mean, even Native Americans had, stories of Bigfoot.
Right.
So it was called like Skookum, and I'll let you try to pronounce that other one.
Soleil
and Hairy Man. So, I mean, and mostly it started in the Pacific Northwest.
Right.
But it's all over the country.
Yeah.
At this point.
Right.
In fact, we're going to get into one here that was like local to the St. Louis area here shortly.
Right.
So it's kind of a wild thing that, Bigfoot's been around for so long. And we're going to get deep into it.
Like Harry and the Hendersons.
Right.
It's been popular.
In the popular.
Right. Pop culture.
Right. Now, as far as the Native American history, it was described as a guardian for nature.
Right.
When I hear the guardian for nature, I think of the guy from with the Sneeds or whatever it was, Snoods, whatever it is, with the cat, Dr. Seuss.
Oh.
With the little hairy guy that was trying to keep the trees alive.
Yeah.
I can't remember the guy's name, but that's what I think of. He looks like a little Bigfoot, as hairy as he is.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking of Captain Planet.
Oh. Stories of Bigfoot actually go back, they predate European settlement by centuries.
Yeah, yeah.
So they've been around for a long time. I mean, it's a long-standing cultural thing here in America. So early colonial 1700s, 1800s, settlers reported what they called wild men in the forest.
Yeah, great big feet. That's why the name came, Bigfoot.
Right.
It's got big feet. Look, leaves big footprints in the mud and in the dirt. So that's why that's where the name stuck, you know.
And they said they were human-like, but massive, and some accounts mention tool use and vocalization, and reports span all the way from Canada to the Deep South. I mean, you know, obviously they get dismissed as folklore because nothing new and crazy exists in this world because we're stupid enough that we think we know everything.
Right.
Right.
And people see, like, I know of hunters that report, like, the like log teepee things that they build, and they're known to throw things and make noises to scare hunters out of their areas. So, you know, it still happens.
On trees with giant branches and stuff.
Yeah, and great big branches too.
So the first modern Bigfoot sightings were like right after World War II. And, you know, this was something as Bob and I were setting up and going through it, we were wondering if maybe the atom bombs, like
nuclear weapons tests, those kind of things,
it peaked it up and made it more prevalent. If because we'll get into something later that you and I discuss with, you know, have discussed many times with these.
Right.
But, you know, they're finding in the 50s, they were finding logging roads with, like you said, the giant footprints.
Right.
And, you know, that's when the newspaper came out with Bigfoot. So.
And you have to wonder, like, during the war effort, if people weren't deforesting, you know, the area to, like, get gun stocks and wood for shovels and things that they needed for the war effort.
Well, and then the baby boom, so people were building more houses, chopping down more trees.
Right.
People were getting deep into the wilderness, you know, more than they had been. So it sets the stage for, you know, modern cryptozoology.
Right.
So
these things are running around out there.
So let's talk about one of the big evidence pieces of Bigfoot. So Bob, you go ahead and you know all about big feet, so I'm going to let you handle this.
So these two guys were recording wildlife in Bluff Creek, California. Patterson and Gimlin. I forget which one is which, but one of them is a Bob. So he had that going for him. And they just happened to record in this little river valley Sasquatch striding through, you know, the frame. And they recorded a very shaky version because their camera was mounted on a tripod, and he had to take it off of the tripod to, you know, record. So it kind of is all over the place. But it's been motion tracked in the modern era, and it's razor sharp clarity. And you could tell that if it was a person in a suit, it would be a very, very expensive suit. And this is 1967 that we're talking about. So, I mean, if you go in the mid 70s and look at the $6 Million Man, remember the $6 Million Man? His one of his nemesis was the Bigfoot. So you could see what a Bigfoot suit from Hollywood looks like just, 10 years after this footage was recorded.
Yeah, it's nothing like
it wasn't good.
Video.
No, it was not good. So this looks like, and you could see when it slowed down and enhanced, you could see like muscles under it. So it is one of the best Bigfoot footages that I have seen. So it looks good. And I've seen people too where they took a person, like a big basketball player type guy, who had long arms and long legs, you know, and had him stride in a motion capture suit, and he still didn't match the gait of this. And that guy was like, you know, almost eight something foot tall.
And what's funny is I've always said that Bigfoot kind of reminds me of the way Shaggy's arms swing.
Yeah, they're very long.
They where Shaggy kind of leads with his wrist at the bottom, right, and his hand kind of drags behind, and you know, that's how the Bigfoot walked in that video. It had that kind of just swinging, long arm swinging gait that Shaggy has in Scooby-Doo. You know, I guess that has to do with the long arms and just, you know.
Right. And it's been studied by scientists for decades, and every time they think that, all right, we're gonna load it up, we're gonna debunk it, we're gonna use this, scientific method and analyze it, and it's gonna be a slam dunk. And every single time they get to the end, and they're like, it kind of looks like a Bigfoot. Like we would want nothing more than to say, yeah, this is obviously a dude in a suit, but at the end of the day, it keeps being proven over and over again that it's a Bigfoot.
So Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin, they both claimed the encounter was unexpected.
Yeah.
And they never recanted, even under pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a hot button right now. I mean, as being whether or not it's true. But they say that this was totally 100% factual. They still say that,
Right. And they never said that it was anything other than a real footage of a real Bigfoot.
And what you were saying about the suit and all that kind of stuff, they did stuff into foot flexion and, like you said, the arm swing and the visual muscles, all that kind of stuff was part of it when they broke this video down and looked at it piece by piece and frame by frame.
Yeah.
There's no way this could be a Hollywood costume.
And it's a riverbed where this creature is walking. So it's stones, that are like the size of basketballs. So if you or I with our little feet tried to walk through this same thing, we'd break our neck, trying to stumble around on these stones, you know what I mean? And it's just cruising along.
And the average Bigfoot foot is 14 to 20 inches.
Right.
And sometimes they leave, markings from dermal ridges, and trackways show consistent stride length. They offer and appear in remote and muddy areas. So we're not just talking people are finding these anywhere. They're finding them out in the middle of nowhere where nobody has a reason to fake Bigfoot stuff.
Right.
It's everywhere. It's not just a thing. And I know you guys know the story. I wasn't a big believer in Bigfoot until what was that, 2 summers ago?
Right.
When I saw something.
Saw yours, right?
I never believed in it. I was totally not on board.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a huge skeptic. And I saw something take a step and a half and disappear behind a tree. And I never thought to look for footprints. I did notice its height to the bushes because its knees went to the bushes and the bushes almost came to my waist.
Right.
And it literally took a step and a half behind a tree and disappeared. So...
like I say, the one that I saw was in California, in the middle of the night. I was riding in the back seat of a Jeep back then. The Jeeps had the little bitty back seat. It was like for one and a half person, right? And I was sitting in
almost
the middle.
Like a school bus seat.
Yeah,
really.
They were tiny in the Jeeps back then, Wranglers anyway. And it came into my periphery. I could see it reflected in the taillights, like the red of the taillights. It was that close. And I was like, whoa, what was that? And it stepped once onto the road, like its next foot was in the middle of the road, and then its next stride was off the other side of the road. That's how big its gait was.
Like 8 feet.
Yeah. I mean, it was ridiculous how fast that it moved too. And I told the guy who was driving, I was like, stop, I just saw something. And he's like, what was it? I was like, it looked like a gorilla or a Bigfoot or something. He's like, I'm not stopping. So then he just kept going, and I was like, man, come on. Like how often are you going to get the chance to say that you've seen a Bigfoot, No, he wouldn't hear it. He was gone.
And you'll see a lot of people go on these hunts out there and they try to vocalize and get the sounds down to try to get, the Bigfoot to either communicate back or thump logs and things like that, because that's a big thing for them. Like Bob said earlier, they smack trees to try to get you out of their area. So they'll hear howls and screams and the knocks, of course, and they captured those sounds all over the United States. Mm-hmm. They're not localized to any place.
And they're similar.
And they're often heard in patterns too.
Right.
So it's not just a random thump. It's, like multiple knockings out in the middle of complete nowhereness.
If you do a little research online to what the Bigfoot call sounds like, it's kind of like it's a rising kind of whoop sound, and they all sound the same. So if you hear one recorded in Pennsylvania and you hear one recorded in Washington, they're the same sound that the creature's making. So what are the odds that somebody in who's faking it in Pennsylvania would sound exactly like the dude in Washington State does.
No, some of the theories is this is a descendant of the Gigantopithecus.
Yeah.
Gigantopithecus, which is a large ape-type creature from prehistoric times. That would explain the size and the intelligence and the strength and all that.
Right.
But it would require extreme stealth to survive.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's no fossil evidence, but we have other theories on that, why we can't find that evidence.
Yeah.
And my sighting actually falls in line with this theory, is that Bigfoot are other dimensional beings.
Right. The first person I heard bring that up was Nick Redfern when we were at a conference at the Roswell UFO Festival. Mm-hmm. He was there talking about UFOs and other things, and I had read one of his books. So when he was done, he has like a question and answer thing, and you can just walk up and talk to him. And one of the things I asked him, I was like, hey, he's like, whoa, what do you want? I was like, I want to ask you about Bigfoots. He's like, oh, I'm always happy to talk about Bigfoot. I'm like, well, I read your book, and in your book you talk about how they're interdimensional beings and how they phase in and out of our timeline, and that's why we see them. That's why we never see a dead one. That's why we never see baby big feet. There's never a Bigfoot nest. Like it's just an interdimensional being that kind of comes in and then goes back out again. And he sat there for like 40 minutes and explained it to me about how there's all kinds of electromagnetic phenomenon. There's different radiation sources that people can track, and then all of that ties into these Bigfoot sightings. So
yeah, and that's like
stuff.
Like mine disappeared behind the tree. Like it literally went into a door.
Yeah.
Like the tree was probably 1.5 feet across, maybe. Right. Like it should have literally came out the other side and just poop, it was gone. So
nuts.
Craziness. And I sat there that day. I remember that day distinctly. I literally sat there and stared at that spot for like 5 minutes and went, did I really see what I think I saw? I thought I was going nuts. So now there are a lot of unexplained sightings near where missing people have disappeared. And some claim that Bigfoot abduct humans. Others say it avoids people entirely and often overlaps with national parks, which is highly controversial. And that's something that we've discussed previously on the podcast about disappearances in national parks.
Yeah. And that video got buried so fast.
Oh, yeah. They didn't like us talking about that.
They did not like that at all. When we released that video, it had like 3 views for like weeks. And it never, ever got any traction. The shorts didn't get any traction. The video didn't get any traction. They just buried it.
They did not like the fact that we were talking about
people
disappearances in national parks.
No, they weren't happy about it.
Why do we do that to ourselves, Bob? We get out there on the fringe and start talking about, conspiracy theories and things like that, and they shut us down.
Well, sometimes we come up with something like the GATE program, and then it makes it all worthwhile.
Right. Talk about the GATE program. What's funny is like the podcast for the GATE program didn't really take off the other week, but the shorts are going gangbusters on Instagram. Yeah. I mean, anytime we talk about the GATE program on Instagram, it goes wild. So
I've had where one person made a comment and then people started replying to that person's comment, and it was like 30,
a whole conversation.
30, 40 replies, Yep.
So the biggest hot spots, right? We have the Pacific Northwest, obviously. You're Washington, you're Oregon, all up in there. But Florida, you have the skunk ape, which supposedly smells worse than your standard Bigfoot.
Right.
So
it's hot down there, though, and humid. So I can imagine.
A little sweat.
they don't have a... And I can't think of it now. There's a deodorant company that has a Squatch scent.
Oh, the Dr. Squatch.
Yeah, the Dr. Squatch. They don't have Dr. Squatch down there in the swamp.
And then the Appalachian area is a very common place.
Oh yeah.
What most people overlook is, believe it or not, the Midwest is a hot spot. In fact, right here close to us in Murfreesboro, Illinois, is actually one of the biggest group sightings to ever happen.
Yeah.
They call it the Big Muddy Monster, and Bob says the mayor is all in on this.
Yeah, the current mayor is all about it. And he released the entire police file on this event. and you can download it off of the Murfreesboro's website, and it has all of the witness statements. It has all of everything, and they just gave it out. It's like one of the biggest data dumps I've ever seen, and I'm here for it. That guy.
And it was like a couple teachers and then a whole school bus full of kids.
Yeah.
So we're talking like 30, 40 people saw it
yeah.
at once. So it was like I said, it's one of the biggest sightings as far as numbered on an individual
And
sighting.
it's so well documented.
They had all the kids write what they saw
Yeah.
and everything. It was if he's data dumped it, go look at it, guys.
Go to their website and look at it. It's awesome. And it talks about how one of the police officers was out taking a report from someone who saw it by their barn, and then they got another 911 call like a half mile away from someone else who'd seen it. So then he had to finish his report there and then go to the new sighting, and then that guy his dog had cornered it in a barn, and then the police went to go help cordon the area off, and then it disappeared.
So there are a lot of people out there who do fake the Bigfoot stuff.
Oh, it's one of the most faked things that there is.
Because people just want attention. They'll go out there and they'll put the stuff out and they just get attention. But the thing is now with AI and everything else, people aren't getting the attention that they had before because you post a video. There's a whole series of videos where Sasquatch is running around and talking and dating
there's a
like
channel on
hilarious.
TikTok, where he's like, it's like a blog.
Yeah.
It's like a Bigfoot blog, and he's like, hey, I learned how to brush my teeth with a squirrel and all this stuff. It's hilarious.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
So why Bigfoot refuses to go away. Now, sightings continue every year, and nobody can definitively debunk or prove, so it sits in that gray zone of is it real or is it not real? Yeah. So nobody can find a reason to say no, it's not, but then nobody can also say here's enough evidence to show that yes, it is.
And that's the biggest takeaway. Is there's just enough evidence to keep it in the lexicon to keep people talking about it, but there's not enough evidence to prove that it's 100% real.
Right.
So it kind of like rides in that little gap there where you have a sighting, and then you also have a bunch of people say, well, that guy, he's not trustworthy.
Right.
So,
And as far as like the descriptions, I mean, they range depending on where you are in the United States. The fur length is different. The color is different.
Yeah.
Even the height differs. In Florida and the Midwest, they're a little shorter. In like Oregon and Washington, they're taller with a lot more fur. But I can imagine that with the colder climates up, in like Mount Rainier and that type of area. Yeah. So they do differ a little bit in sightings depending on where you are in the United States. I've heard everything from black, which I saw mine was pitch black.
Yeah.
And some will say, like Harry and Henderson's kind of a brownish red or so it just depends on where you're at in the United States.
In the South, they have they call it the raven mocker type Sasquatch, and it's usually black. So it depends. Like the big muddy monster was white.
Really?
It was a silverish white color. Yeah.
Maybe it was an albino.
Yeah.
Or the
I mean,
head
he was
guy.
Old. He was an old one,
guy.
Right?
Yeah. There you go, old guy making his last trip, into our dimension. So this is something that we wanted to talk about, like I said, for a long time. We want to take a deep dive in some more of the cryptids because, who doesn't like a good cryptid story?
Yeah, everybody loves it.
So
everybody loves
it. I think we'll probably continue this with more cryptids.
Yeah.
That's something we said we wanted to do. We've done a whole podcast on different cryptids.
Right.
But we've been wanting to do a series on each individual cryptid for a while.
Yeah. With the one episode that we did, Angie and I did for the show when you were sick or whatever.
Yeah.
We did the Wendigo, and that one blew up.
Oh,
People love that story.
So that's going to be future stuff coming up. So now you guys know, thanks for hanging out with us. I know this one's a little shorter this week.
Yeah.
But we got into, I think, a good amount of detail. Don't forget, check us out on all those socials. Check us out on the Book of Faces, the Real Veritas Project. For you TikTok people that are watching, check us out on YouTube. And for you YouTube people, check us out on TikTok.
Right. Instagram.
Join
the fight on Instagram.
Yeah. Go jump in those gate program videos on Instagram.
We have like one short that has like 60 views and the next one has like 32,000.
Yeah, it's insane. and like 6,000 likes and like hundreds of comments.
Yeah.
Hundreds of comments on it. It's crazy. Don't forget about the Discord. Jump in the Discord, chat with us in the Discord if you got something that you want to see.
Yeah, that's the fastest way to like message us if you have an idea for the show or if you have a tip or something you want us to look at. Go to the Discord because that's the most active. Right. It goes straight to my phone.
Yep. Or you can email Bob at therealveritasproject@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Don't forget about Patreon. 0-level member on Patreon. Just go to Patreon, sign up, become a member of our group.
Yeah.
If you simply do that, doesn't cost a penny. If you simply do that, your name will become immortalized in the credits. When we finish the podcast, see the credits go, we have a slide just for Patreon members. If you want to become a $5 member, every month we send you a cool postcard. Bob and I sign it. Angie writes you a nice note.
Yeah.
Because Bob and I, our handwriting's horrible.
Right.
If I'd write you a nice note, but you wouldn't be able to read it.
Right.
So it's kind of defeats the purpose. But yeah, if you want to, support us that way, you can. We also have merch on Printify. So if you want to have something to, support us that way, get our name out there.
Yeah. Every month Angie makes the, whatever the postcard is also whatever the t-shirt is that month. Yep. And then after that month is gone, then that t-shirt is gone.
So there you go. Get it while you can.
Collectible, man. One day you'll see it in a little lucite box. It's
right.
Like grading, This is the original Veritas t-shirt, man.
Right. Somebody has the whole collection.
Right.
It shows up on Antiques Roadshow, the whole collection of our postcards.
Yeah.
They're all autographed and signed.
Yeah, you can tell these are real because of the pen and blah blah blah.
Right.
They used this ballpoint pen back then, and it was
right.
It was very rare.
That's too funny. So thank you guys again for joining us on the podcast, and we appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with us when we're live.
Yeah.
Normally we do these on Saturday nights. If you're watching us on YouTube, if you're on the TikToks, we do them live. But and this should be out when you think you're going to edit this one.
Tomorrow at least.
Probably tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. Alrighty. So this will probably either be out tomorrow evening or Wednesday day. So thank you guys again for joining us. We appreciate each and every one of you. And remember,
stay curious
and find the truth. And we'll catch you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
See ya.